What are ENFP's biggest struggles? ENFP can be a difficult personality type to understand. Feeling too much, being overstimulated, and overwhelmed with many choices. Often unable to make decisions, because they want so badly for their ideas or thoughts on something to have merit. They'll do research until they exhaust it, might end up not making any decision at all, or just stay buried in thought. Having heightened senses, that causes them more pain than others. And this is just the tip of the iceberg, the struggles are many. Let's go through what are some of the biggest struggles most ENFPs will go through at some point in their lives. Get ready for some rapid fire. ENFPs are always looking for ways to express themselves, but they often internalize their feelings, in order to prevent conflict, or keep from bothering others. They get bored of people who agree with them, just because it is easier than disagreeing. ENFPs love learning about others' opinions, so when people constantly agree, ENFPs get frustrated or annoyed. They can easily pick up on social fluctuations between friends, but won't bring them up. Because they don't want to be pushy, or bring about topics the other person might not want to talk about. But the curiosity is a hard pill to swallow. ENFPs' trust struggles. ENFPs are very open and trusting, but as soon as the trust is broken, they are completely done. They will only show the parts of themselves that they can handle other people denying. It takes a lot for them to be able to share their deepest desires and motivations with people, because it would hurt badly to have their real selves denied. ENFPs are honest beings, they want others in their life whom they can call family and friends, without fear of rejection, betrayal, or abandonment. As soon as one breaks this seal of trust, by walking away after promising never to do so, it leaves a deep emotional scar. ENFPs would love to be able to go to someone, and start talking about the deep subjects they are interested in. But they are so afraid of being rejected, ridiculed, or that simply the other person won't care. So instead, they just rumble on about superfluous things that they don't care much about, just because it's safe to do so. ENFPs' romantic struggles. They dream about the idea of the perfect romance, with grand gestures of love. But in the end, what they really want is a perfectly stable relationship, where they can feel like they are not missing out on that part of life. They can be a mess of unfinished thoughts, and wobbly priorities. They struggle to keep all their desires in check, but not for lack of trying. At times it seems like the world wants too much from them, sometimes they just have to take a second to breathe, before starting again on what really matters the most. At times they are too serious, and at other times not serious enough. Their faithfulness is balanced with detachment. Commitment phobic, yet longing for connection, loving everyone one day, and loving no one the next. When it comes down to it, there are two sides to them, a social loner or platonic friend who has an irrational emotional side, and a stoic stranger that does not show emotion easily. Being perceived as nosy, due to their genuine interest in wanting to know what's behind people's masks, but for that to happen they would need to ask the hard questions. Which is something not everyone is receptive to. ENFPs expressing themselves. Ask them to write about their thoughts, and they will write you a 10-page essay. Ask them to explain them to you in words, and they will most likely stumble. They may have more trouble translating their thoughts into words, than putting them down on paper. The immensity of thoughts running through their heads is appalling. Many of them end up unfinished, because simply they are just too many to follow through. But this doesn't mean that many of those ideas weren't good ideas. The fact that they can't pursue all they would like to is frustrating and demotivating. But ENFP's biggest hurdle is probably also the most endearing. It is as follows. Do ENFPs ever give up on people? The fact that they believe everyone on the planet is striving to be the best they can be is a double-edged sword. The feeling of disappointment when they witness people being dishonest or disingenuous is so great that the will to help and motivate others turns into feelings of sadness and disappointment. And if it happens frequently over a short period of time, can propel them into their so-called dark side, meaning the rejection of people, because their faith in them starts to waver. Luckily, they are great at bouncing back, because there's nothing sadder than an ENFP whose light is dimming. ENFPs feel guilty for caring too much, and dislike it because it makes them feel weak. They're conflicted about their contradictory desire to care deeply, while avoiding being clingy. struggling with how conflict makes them uncomfortable, but they won't back down from a fight when it's something important to them. ENFPs try to constantly be aware of the feelings and needs of everyone they interact with. But if people don't do the same for them, they might become upset. And this makes them even more upset, because they feel like they shouldn't get upset over getting upset, but they do. Does that make sense? ENFPs need significantly more alone time than other extroverts, but still need social interaction too. Finding a balance between these two extremes can prove to be difficult. ENFPs feel a lot, and it's not always easy. They have highs that make them want to scream in triumph, but also lows where the world seems hopeless. It can't be easy for people with such strong emotions to navigate life, not only the lows, but also the highs. But it's important to accept it, because that's what makes them different from others. And the world needs all kinds. With ENFPs, we have to understand that emotional is just how they were made. If you liked the video, please consider leaving a like and subscribing. That will allow us to keep making more videos like this. For more related content, please click on one of the suggested videos. Thank you for watching.